So these inserts are classified into the two types, basically non-erodible inserts and erodible inserts. Non-erodible inserts means they are not soluble into your eye solutions or the lacrimal secretions, and erodible inserts are the slightly soluble, and they will slowly dissolve into your eye secretions. So these are the two types of inserts. Under the non-erodible insert, eye occlusers are there, and contact lenses are there. Into the erodible inserts, some branded names are there today. They are prepared for the specially long-term dissolution of the drug. That is the Lacrisert, Sodi, and Mindisc. So these are the three products are available nowadays in the market. Then non-erodible inserts. Yesterday we have discussed about these non-erodible inserts. So these are the non-erodible or the non-dissolvable, non-dissolving substances. Generally, they are inserted into your eye cavities. Most of time we are using the pilocarpine drug. That drug is administered into the such kinds of insert, and then that insert is administered into your eye cavity for the delivery of the drug. Generally, 20 to 20 microgram per hour of the drug will be released. So, pilocarpine is the best, we can say, choice of drug which is administered through these eye occlusers. Generally, they are prepared by the multiple layers. So, initially, outer layer is made up of the ethylene vinyl acetate polymer. Then, inside that layer, we have to administer the drug in the form of gel, and then we have to cover that total ring with the help of titanium dioxide as a coloring agent and diaphragm. So after that, this total disc we have to insert into your eyes, and then slowly they will release your pilocarpine drug inside your eye cavity. The advantage of this kind of substance is that they are, we can say, having the we can say reduced local side effects as well as the toxicity compared to your other type of dosage forms. Then generally, with the help of your predetermined manner, we can deliver your drug, and there is the improved compliance of the patient. Improved compliance means uh, once you have administered this Acusar, no need to administer the dose time to time, because automatically drug will be released time to time for the as per the requirement. Then disadvantages of such kind of Acusars are there is the retention in the eye for the 7 days. Actually, after the 7 days, we have to remove it, and after that again sometime if it is required again we have to insert the another type of or the fresh type of eye occlusar. Then we have to periodically check it whether it is working properly or not. Then replacement of we can say contaminated unit is required. Sometimes suppose such kind of occlusar is contaminated while manufacturing, so they may cause the problem. And most of thing is that they are expensive, because compared to your normal eye drop eye solution, such kind of eye occlusars are required the we can say extra money in case of production also and for the consumer also. And another important thing is that we require the skilled person to administer inside your eye. These contact lenses are circular shape structures. Generally, they are prepared in spherical shape as well as this type of material. And in this, we are incorporating the either hydrophobic or hydrophilic drug. And depending on the nature of the drug, we can use the material for the preparation of the lenses. Generally, the drug released from your contact lenses is depending on the amount of drug present, then how much soaking time is we have provided for your drug, and concentration of the drug during the soaking of the solution. Generally, drug is absorbed as well as adsorbed on the surfaces of the contact lenses. The advantage of such kind of contact lenses is that no preservation or the no preservative is required. Then size and shape can be prepared as per your requirement for the treatment purpose. And there is a we can say no need of the we can say time to time taking of the dose. Once you have inserted the contact lenses, automatically it will release the drug into your eye cavity, and you can do your general work also. The patient may not be, we can say, impaired because of the this technology. So routine work can be done and your drug will be released normally. Then disadvantage of such kind of contact lenses is that handling and cleaning is quite difficult, because while inserting your contact lenses, some skill is required, and cleaning of that lenses is most important one before the administration of that contact lenses. So there should not be contamination or the particulate matter inside insert into your eye cavities during the insertion of the contact lenses. Then they are expensive. That is also one you can say valuable type of disadvantage. Then erodible inserts. Erodible inserts means those kind of inserts which are having the slowly dissolution rate, or they will slowly dissolve inside your eye cavity, and they will release your drug inside your eye cavity. So there are the three types of erodible inserts are there, like lacriserts, sodi, and mini disc. Then lacriserts. Lacriserts are sterile rod-shaped devices made up of propyl cellulose without any kind of preservative for the treatment of generally specific dry eye syndrome. The weight of this kind of lacricert is only 5 milligram, and the length as well as measurement is that 1.27 mm in the diameter, and length is 3.5 millimeter. They are inserted into the interior fornix. Then sodi is another one type of insert is there. They are soluble ocular drug insert. They are small oval shaped material. They are sterile thin film of oval shape. Generally weight is 15 to 16 milligram. They are used specially for the glaucoma. Then advantage is that they are single application. Once you have inserted it, no need to remove it. They will get totally dissolved. Then min disc is there. The min disc is are nothing but the disc shaped material, convex, having the shape. Then diameter is 4 to 5 millimeter, and it composed the silicon based pre-polymer alpha butyl polydimethyl silicon. Then methyl cryloxy butyl functionalities. Then pilocarpine and chloramphenicol type of drug can be administered with the help of this kind of mini disc. Then evaluation of the your such kind of accusers. The evaluation is based on the thickness of the your such kind of accusers. Generally they are prepared in the form of disc or the film. So that kind of film should have the minimum type of thickness, so it should be easy for the administration. And then there should not be discomfortness while after the administration of such kind of disc. So the thickness of such kind of disc is measured. Then drug content uniformity of such kind of film. Such kind of films containing the drug, because while preparation we are administering the drug inside that film, then how much amount of drug is administered, that is also important. So to check the such kind of uniformity of the drug, the film is cutted and then tested for the uh, content of the drug as per the assay of that drug. Then uniformity of the weight. So whatever the number of lenses or the eye opposites we have prepared, so they have tested for their uniformity of the weight. So according to this, we will get the idea about the actual weight of the drug also. Then percentage of the moisture absorption. Whatever the films are we are using, whether they are having the tendency to absorb the moisture or not, then this test is carried out by just placing the your ocular films inside the desiccator containing the 100 ml of saturated solution of aluminum chloride, and 79% of humidity we have to maintain. Then after the 3 days, the ocular films are reweighted, and the percentage moisture, whether it is increase or decrease, that should be calculated as per the formula. The moisture percentage absorbed is calculated by using the percentage of moisture is equal to final weight minus the initial weight divided by initial weight into 100. So by this way we can calculate the moisture content by the your absorbed by the lenses. Then another test is the in vitro evaluation methods. Generally, when your eye opposites are inserted into the eye, then at which manner they are releasing the drug into your eye cavity. So that should be find out. So to check that things, we are using the in vitro evaluation methods. Generally, in this case, we are using the bottle method and diffusion method. So under the bottle method, the dosage forms or the eye opposites are placed in the bottle containing the dissolution medium, which is having the pH of your lacrimal secretion, that is the 7.5. Then the bottle is shaken for the longer period, and then the sample of medium or the sample of that solution is taken out, and spectrophotometrically we can find out the amount of drug is released in that solution. So as like as your dissolution study, we can carry out this bottle method. Then diffusion method is there. Under the diffusion method, the drug solution is placed in the donor compartment, and the buffer medium is placed in between the donor and receptor compartment. So diffusion method containing the utilization of diffusion test apparatus. So in the diffusion test apparatus, we have to fill up the your first of all medium or the 7.4 pH lacrimal solution, simulated lacrimal solution in the your diffusion apparatus. And one side of that diffusion apparatus, we have to administer the amount of drug solution, that is to be suppose we can say label claim like 100 ml to 2 ml, 5 ml, like that we have to administer. And then after that, sometime from that diffusion study, we will get idea that how much amount of drug is passing across the membrane inside the diffusion apparatus. So this diffusion apparatus is used to find out the amount of drug can be passed from their membrane. Then in vivo study is also performed to check the your diffusion of the drug through your eye cavity. Generally, in this case, we are using the animals. So in the one side of in the one eye, we can administer the your drug or the solution of your preparation, and in another eye, we are not adding any kind of your solution, and then we will find the difference in your eyes. These are the soft lens and hard lens. Generally, to take care of your contact lens, generally we are using the various kind of we can say solutions as well as the cleaning agents to clean your contact lenses time to time. Generally, this kind of clearing agents are remove the lipid and protein debris Now we'll see the evaluation of the your ophthalmic products. Generally, we have seen the your solution, suspension, ointment, gels, and such kind of solid eye occlusers. So, what kind of test should be carried out? So, for the eye occlusers, we have seen the test, but for the eye solutions, suspensions, and gels, as well as the ophthalmic ointments, what kind of tests are designed? So, to check their caliber, we are having the various kind of test, or we have to carry out the various test. So sterility test, clarity test, leakage test, and metal particle test. These are the main four tests are designed to evaluate the ophthalmic product, and those products which are solution, suspension, gels, and ointments. So sterility test is carried out for the checking of the sterility of your product, whether your eye drop, eye solution, eye ointment is properly sterilized or not, whether it is totally free from microorganism or not. So for that purpose, we can use the direct inoculation method and membrane filtration method, or it is also called as the indirect inoculation method. So in case of sterility test, we have to use the any kind of suitable growth media. In this media, we have to prepare the culture, and we have to sterilize that culture, and then generally we are using the soybean casein digest medium or fluid thioglycolate medium. So in the both medium, your microbes can grow very well. So in the sterility test, simply you have to sterilize your dosage form, and you have to sterilize your all the media and all the equipments. So in the direct inoculation method, just simply in that medium, you add your sterilized dosage form, whatever the eye drop you have prepared, sterilize it and add the 2 or 3 drops into your medium and keep it for the inoculation. When you are keeping the for the incubation, so generally at 2 to 25 degrees centigrade, you have to maintain the conditions of that medium. So suppose the microbes are present in your sterilized dosage form, then surely they will grow into the medium. So after the particular time, you will find that growth. If the growth is there, means your sterility test is failed. So this is called as the sterility test by the direct inoculation method. Another method is the indirect method. Under the indirect method, generally we are filtering your sterilized dosage form through the filter, and after the filtration, that filter is cutted into the small part, and that filter part has been added into the your nutrient broth medium, in which you have prepared your culture medium, and it is suitable for the growth of microorganism. Then keep that media for the incubation at 20 to 25 degrees centigrade, and then you observe the growth. Generally soybean casein medium, if you are using, then we require to wait for the 14 days to observe the growth, and if you are using the fluid thioglycolate medium, then you have to wait for the 7 days for the observing the growth of microorganism. If the growth of microorganism is appears, it means your sterility test is failed and your sterilization method has been failed. So that's why we have to go for the alternative sterilization method. Then clarity test. Clarity test is also important for your eye product, because if the foreign particle is inserted with your product into the eye cavity, then it will cause the sensation, irritation, itching, and the lacrimal secretion, so on. So to avoid that things, we should go for the checking of the clarity test. Generally, it is observed in front of the black and white background. If you have prepared any eye drop, then you can check the content of any foreign particle in front of the white and black background. So this test is meant only for the eye solutions, not for the suspension. So here we can use the another kind of methods are also there. That is light scattering method is there, light absorption method is there, electrical resistance method is also there. So these are also, we can say, modified method we can use to counter method is also there to find out the presence of the foreign particles. Then liquor test. Liquor test is performed to find out the leakage of the your container. Generally, this liquor test is performed for the your ointment tubes, in which we have filled your ophthalmic ointment. So in this case, you have to take your ointment tubes, which are to be used for the your ointment purpose. Fill that tubes with the help of your prepared ointment and go for the sealing it. So after the appropriate sealing, we are going to observe the any kind of leakage. Now here under this test, place the tubes in horizontal position on the sheet of absorbent blotting paper. So you take the absorbent blotting paper, and in that we have to keep the your place tubes on into the horizontal position, and you have to maintain the temperature near about 63 degrees centigrade for the 8 hours. Now what will happen if you are increasing the temperature? Automatically your ointment will be melt, and if the your container is not properly sealed, leakages are there, it means it will try to come out from that leakages, because melted material will come fast from the minor leakages also. If after the 24 hours, 8 hours, if you have found that there are no any you can say significant leakage found on the your paper, it means your test has been passed. So by this way you can carry out the test for the leakage. Then metal particles present in the ophthalmic ointment. So this test is meant for the those ophthalmic preparation which are filled inside the metallic tubes. Generally metallic tubes are having the ability to release their metallic particles inside their ophthalmic ointments. So suppose such kind of particles are coming in your ophthalmic ointments, so while application, they may cause the irritation to your eye cavity, they may tear your upper surface of the eye, So on problems may be appear. So to avoid that, we should check the presence of the such kind of metallic particles of your container in the ophthalmic ointment. So for that purpose, we have to take the any kind of suitable uh, ophthalmic ointment tubes which are pre-filled with the ointment. Then take that material, 10 tubes, and heat them at the 85 degree centigrade for the 2 hours. Now, after the particular time, when they are totally heated and then your ointment has been melted, then remove your ointment and filter it with the help of suitable filter, and then after the filtration, your melton ointment will pass through your filter, and if the particles are present, they will remain on the filter surface, and then you can find out the number of that particles present. Then just count all the your particles, and then categorize them into the size. Then find out there what is the size of that particles. So if the particles are present, then the number of that metal particles having the 15 micron on the larger in dimension. So there should not be, we can say, total number of such particles that is in the your 10 tubes. If the total number of particles having the 15 micron size are more than 10, then you have to repeat the test. After that, there are other type of tests also there for the checking of your product. Generally, if you are going for the evaluation, means we have to find out the drug concentration also and the type of drug also. So generally we can use the identification test of drug also, which kind of drug has been added, and the amount of that drug present in your product also. So for that purpose, we can go for the assay to find out the amount of drug present. Suppose you are saying that it is prepared 100 milligram of the uh, ointment, and in that ointment there should be a present drug, that is the label amount. So for this test is applicable for the solution, suspension, and ointment also, as well as the gel. Then pH of that prepared solution, generally your gel, then your suspension as well as the emulsion and solution should be checked for the its pH. Then we have to go for the checking its osmolarity also, because the isotonicity is, or suppose we have not matched, then it may cause the irritation to the eye. Generally, uh, from 0.5% to 5% of sodium chloride, equivalent to a range from 171 osmolarity per kg to the 1711 osmolarity per kg. There will not be any marked discomfortness we observe. Then after that, we have to carry out the bacterial endotoxin test also, whether in your preparation any kind of pyrogens are present or not. That one also we have to find out. So this test is carried out as per your parental preparation we have seen. So endotoxin test we have to carry out with the help of animals, and pyrogen test also we have to check. So by using the rabbit, we can check the presence of pyrogen. Then uniformity of dosage units. This test is performed for the we can say weight variation of your all kind of products, because eye drops are there. In case of eye drops also, we can check the unity of uniformity of dose in eye solution, eye drop, as well as the eye suspension, as well as the eye emulsion. So these are the tests are designed. Then drop size. So drop size is nothing but we can say what kind of dropper you are using for inserting your eye solution as well as the eye suspension and emulsion. So in that case, so the eye dropper size is also matters, because while delivering the dose of your drug, so there should not be we can say extra dose given to the patient. So what kind of dropper you are using, what is the orifice of that dropper, that is also important. Generally, drop size is typically in the found in between the 20 to 70 microliter. So if the drop size is very small, then we have to administer the number of drop like 5 to 10. Or if your drop size is too much large, then we have to control the number of drops. So in that case, to avoid the we can say extra dose of the drug, we have to find out the what kind of drop size is appearing if you are using the particular type of dropper. So